It's a full-size cake, so if it's not just you and your other half and you've got a whole family, you can share it.
Lovely.
Or you can stash it in the fridge or freezer and just have bits of it. And it's a chocolate hazelnut gluten-free cake.
Lovely.
And it's lush, it's lovely.
Lots of people are going gluten-free, aren't they? Lots of people
Yeah.
I mean, lots of people, it's not a choice, as we keep saying. You know, they're not well and they've got a serious illness and they can't have gluten. But a lot of people, it's like, you know, they're not eating
They're a healthier lifestyle,
sure.
aren't they?
So what have you got in there?
So in here I've got some hazelnuts, which I've just chopped. It's peeled hazelnuts, chopped in the food processor.
Right.
With some caster sugar and some dark muscovado sugar. Now, there seems to be a shortage of hazelnuts in the country. Our lovely food stylist, Tilly, couldn't find any hazelnuts anywhere. So if you can't find hazelnuts, you can just use ground almonds.
Ground almonds.
But hazelnuts give you that lovely praline flavour.
Yeah. Ooh.
That's loud, isn't it? So you just run those through there, and if you've not got one of these, you can do it in a bowl with the ground almonds, so it's still doable.
Sure.
And I'm going to add to this now 6 egg yolks. So I've got 6 whole eggs, separated them.
It's going to be lovely and rich.
It's very rich and fudgy. It's really fudgy. So the yolks go in there with 1 egg white and the melted chocolate. Now, obviously, if you are gluten-free for health reasons, make sure that the chocolate wasn't produced in close, contamination with gluten products, or make sure it's not got gluten in the chocolate itself. Usually they don't, but just it's best to always be sure. So you pop that in there. Ooh.
See, that doesn't seem like all that much chocolate for all of that.
It's not a great deal, but there'll be more later. Don't worry.
Okay.
Don't worry. There's more to come. Don't sound too disappointed. There's more to come. And literally, you just blend that until it goes to a really lovely, thick, fudgy batter. So that'll blend for about 2 minutes or so, maybe a minute and a half. And once you've got that, it goes very, very thick indeed.
Oh, yeah.
So it goes like a real thick, fudgy, chocolatey batter. It's gorgeous.
Yum.
Then what I've done is I've just whipped to quite stiff peaks the remaining 5 egg whites.
Of course, so nothing is wasted.
Nothing's
That's
wasted.
very good.
Nothing's wasted at all. And you need to make sure that you get these incorporated without deflating them. Because this is where the air comes from. There's no baking powder in this. So the best thing to do is to incorporate about 1/3 at first, and you can quite vigorously just bash that in, and that'll help to slacken the mixture down. And then that way, it's much easier then to incorporate the remaining 2/3 of the egg white. So you can see that's gone softer. So all I'm going to do then is swap to a flatter implement. So swap to my spatula. Just pop those in there and fold those in. And now, because this is a completely nut-based cake, I can't tell you how much better this is the day or two after. Well, it's better on, it's great on the day it's made, but it keeps beautifully. So if you're not, like a Ganache like we are, and you don't want to eat it all, then you can just, you can stash it in a cake tin and it's fine. So you just fold this through quite quickly. Make sure you don't get any of the egg, make sure you incorporate all the egg white, basically. You don't want any lumps of egg white in there, so give it a fold in. And once you've done that, you can then just decant it into a tin. Now, make sure you've lined and greased your tin, just so it just protects the cake from burning. It also helps to get it out afterwards. So that goes into a cake tin, and it bakes for about 45-50 minutes. So a skewer inserted, pop those down there, a skewer inserted into the centre will come out clean.
Lovely.
Now, here I've got my finished cake.
Beautiful.
One we made earlier.
Yum, yum, yum.
And I'm going to make a basic ganache. So all you do is bring the cream to a simmer. Once it starts bubbling around the edges, it's good to go. And you pour it onto your chopped chocolate.
Oh my goodness me!
Like that. So it's really quite good for the soul.
Is that double cream or single cream, or does it
Double
not
or
matter?
single would work fine. You could do it with water if you wanted to.
Yeah.
You could even make ganache with tea. Infuse like ginger teas and stuff.
That's a good idea.
We're not going to be that fancy today.
No.
So you leave that for about 30 seconds, then you whisk that to a nice, smooth, glossy ganache, and you can incorporate some butter into there as well. So you just pop the butter in and whisk that to a smooth, glossy ganache. So I've got some ganache here. And
ganache.
then with...
I like the word ganache.
It's good, good word. Ganache, it is a daft word.
No, but it's fine.
Ganache. Got my ganache. My ganache is split. Mine hasn't, though. So you plop the ganache just onto the cake. And you might not need it all, but this... what you can let this do then is you can let this set in the fridge, scoop it out with a melon baller and make it into little chocolate truffles and roll that in cocoa powder. So nothing needs to get wasted.
You're so clever.
So all I'm going to do then is spread this over the sides and top of the cake. And then when you come back later on, I'm going to be using this very interesting little device here to put some hearts on top.
Oh, I can't wait
it's
to
lovely.
taste that. It's absolutely gorgeous.
I'm just finishing it off with my little cardboard stencil. I'll just cut it out myself.
Did you cut that out yourself?
Yeah, just do it at home.
That's so cute.
So there you go, Lorraine.
Oh, thank you, my lovely boy.
And there for you.
So this is
I've unfortunately reached that time where I'm not allowed chocolate. Can I do it every time for Lent? I know it's ridiculous.